Yeah, I think we are good to go. And yeah, let's start off with the teams. I think we were all done with Earth's team, Earth's cohort. So from Harsh's cohort, we can start off with folks who were wanting feedback for their projects. So anybody from Harsh's cohort wants to go? I think Rahul was also left from Earth's cohort, right? Rahul, are you there? Uh, Rahul? Okay, I'm not too sure if he can hear us. He can. Yeah, we can't hear you, Rahul.
Hello.
Yeah,
Now I can, yeah.
yeah. Rahul, you want to get feedback for your project idea?
It's not like presentable yet, but I hope to bring it within the next session.
All right, no problem. So somebody from Harsh cohort wants to present instead. We can have Saurabh. Saurabh,
Yeah, Drew. Yeah, Denver. My teammate is joining in just 5 minutes, and we will then present together.
okay. Who's your teammate?
Dhruvik.
Drovik. Okay,
He's from Divya's cohort.
okay. In the meantime, is Prakash? Prakash, do you want to present?
Yeah, I presented before in the
Okay, okay. And Sarthak, Sarthak and Ankit, are they there? I don't think they're there. Uh, Jay, Jay or Aman? Jay or Aman, okay. None of the folks seem to be there. Okay. Akash has also presented. Ankur, did you already present? I don't think so, right?
No, not yet.
Yeah, so do you want to present?
Uh, like I already talked to a couple of fellows, so like I'm okay with like presenting last. Like if anybody is like short on time, maybe.
Like we have some time if you want to
Cool. Like
present.
sure, then I'll present.
Yeah.
Is my screen visible? Like the
Yes,
notification?
it is. It is.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
see it.
Jaf, you're familiar with Superfluid, right?
What was that? Sorry.
You're familiar with Superfluid, right? Superfluid protocol.
Yeah, I am. I am. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So basically, what my idea is, I want to sort of build an extension over the Superfluid protocol. So basically, what I want to do is I want to have streams, but that are cross chain also. Like you have an account on one chain, and basically what I want to solve the problem is I want to be able to stream funds from one chain's account to another chain's account. So basically, how I got this idea was I sort of was thinking like how I could use Chainlink in different ways. And basically, one of the things that I thought was okay, since Chainlink allows you to basically call an arbitrary like API from the contract, basically what you can do is you can have a sort of a Web2 backend in the middle. And basically, you can use Chainlink's APIs to have two contracts talk to like each other. Like if let's say there are one contract on one chain and another contract on another chain, what one contract can do is it can call an API of the backend, and the backend will basically call a function on the other contract. So basically, this sort of allows two contracts that are not on the same chain to communicate. So using this idea, what I thought was, since Superfluid, they have this facility, this like sort of callbacks where we have this facility where as soon as a stream is created, you can basically set up a callback, and that callback will automatically be fired once a stream starts. So using combining those two things, what I can do is I can have a system where, let's say I have two chains. Okay, on one chain I'll have a pool manager, and on another chain I'll have a pool manager. So basically, what the role of pool manager is, they are basically pools of superfluid tokens. So let's say that I am right now on chain one and I want to send a stream to chain two. What I'm going to do is, let's say I'm this so this is actually EAO, but it should have been EOA. So like I'll apologize for the typo. But what I'll do is, this EOA, which is me, I'll start a stream from myself to chain one's pool manager. What pool manager will do is it will fire an API to the backend, and the backend will inform pool manager 2, which is on a different chain, to start an equivalent stream from itself to another account that I control on like on the second chain. So like basically, for example, I have some address like 0xf something on this. What I can do is I can start a stream from this to 0xf, but on a different chain. Now, let's say that there is a DApp that's on a dot on chain 2. What I can do is I can just start a stream from this to this. That way, I still maintain the ownership of the stream. But now what is actually happening is, funds are exiting from this account, and funds are entering this account and then exiting this account to a DApp. So effectively, what is happening is funds are getting transferred from this to this, but still I am in control of the flow because this guy is responsible for starting the stream, and it still happens like in a gasless way. And the coordination is basically happening with the pool manager. So like that is the basic idea. Are there any do you want any clarifications now? So because after that, like I'll discuss like some of the problems.
Actually, you know, this is one really interesting idea. So it's really cool what you are describing. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that middle component, the Web2 component? What exactly is the orchestration that it will do to communicate the two chains?
So the main purpose of the Web2 backend is to allow contract one, which is pool manager on a chain, to be able to call functions of pool of like the PM2, which is lying on a completely different chain. So like what will happen is, uh, this is basically Express backend. This is basically a REST backend. Okay, like this will provide some REST APIs. What PM1 will do is, using Chainlink's like API calling functionality, it will fire an API which will hit this backend. So now this backend knows that, okay, PM1 wants to start a stream. So what it will do is, PM2, on receiving the API call, it will call a function of PM2 using ethers. Basically, it will inform chain 2's pool manager that, okay, chain 1 has started, wants you to start a stream to some particular account. So that way, these two contracts will be able to sort of communicate within themselves by sort of leveraging this middleman like Web2 backend. Does that answer?
And have you guys entertained another idea, or have you thought around another idea that is not a Web2 middleware?
Yeah. So this, I had this exact same thought myself, that okay, we are introducing a Web2 dependency here, which is ideally it should not be there, right? So like I talked to a lot of people, and like everybody had kind of like different views. Okay, so like one thing that I was gonna go with was sort of progressive decentralization. So I was in parallel exploring things like optimism and like the token bridge that they provide. Then I was also looking into how Matic does it, and like very recently, I think there is this thing that's launched called there was this article from Andre Cronje, like he described how you can deploy your own cross chain token. So like there are multiple ways of doing this. So what actually I did, I asked on the Chainlink's Discord that, okay, like I have this plan where I'm going to have two contracts contacting each other using Web2 backends. So on Chainlink, they told me that, okay, for the first cut, you can try to do this. And once you have this working, you can sort of try to have decentralization in a progressive way. Like like even let's say that I want to decentralize this, what I can do is I can make the backend open source, and like Chainlink has their like like anybody can be a node provider on Chainlink, right? So using the same logic, anybody can provide this backend. It's not a good solution, but like that's one way to like make this sort of semi decentralized, I guess. Then I also talked to Francisco, like, and he mentioned that okay, for the first cut this kind of works. Like in future obviously I should go with something like uh, which does not like depend on a web2 backend, but he suggested that okay, if I can find a way to submit a Merkle proof from chain 1 PM to chain 2's PM by leveraging the backend, so that only the invocation is being handled by the web2 backend but not the trust, that could be a step in the right direction basically. So
Well,
yeah.
yeah. One thing that have worked for us is that whenever you have a dependency on a Web2 component, if you break it as much as you can in granular pieces, very granular pieces, then you can start identifying which components of that Web2 dependency can start being decentralized, right? So I guess, I mean, you have done your homework, you have researched with the right people and asked in the right places. So I think my piece of advice right now for this specific Web2 component that you are showing here would be that to split it into granular pieces so that you can start identifying things that you can, decentralize, let's say.
Just a second, I'll just note this down. Like, give me a second.
But this is really an awesome idea, and you're right. I mean, you're taking little steps on the right direction. It's a matter of trial and error.
Yeah, and so like there was one more issue that I was thinking of. So basically, I mentioned that pool managers will have pools of like super tokens, right? So where will these pools of super tokens come from? So one thing that I was thinking of, like they have this in Uniswap, right? That anybody can simply stake their super like their tokens and they accrue some kind of interest on them, right? So what I was thinking was here, instead of starting an equivalent flow from chain 1 to chain 2, I can have some kind of it's a premium. Like if I'm sending 1 DAI per second here, maybe I'll only send 0.0.99999 DAI here, and then basically I'll be earning some kind of interest over it, right? So basically what people can do is they can stake their super tokens here, and whatever interest I earn, I can basically divide them in the ratio of the super tokens that they stake. So that way they'll still have the super tokens, but they will have some kind of like stream, right? So I think that might be a good incentive for people to give their super tokens to pool manager, like sort of a staking kind of system. Like, what do you think about that?
It's another cool idea that you're talking about here. And yeah, have you just wondering, have you researched the ERC 721 yourself, or was it the 777, the one that they use at Superfluid? Just to understand.
I think 677 is the thing. Like that's I think ERC20 plus on token transfer functionality, right? Right.
Correct.
Yeah, I think that's 677. I think, like, I'm not sure, but I think it's.
Yeah, no, I think that's it. No, but I mean, your idea is pretty cool because you are giving different incentives to the different participants. So that's your game theory right there. Really cool stuff.
Yeah, and one auxiliary, I guess, use case that I was able to think of was like, let's say that I want to do a stream conversion. Like I want basically, let's say there's a DApp and that only accepts streams in DAI. Like it only accepts streams in 1 DAI per second, but I only have USDT. So I can start a stream here of 1 USDT and tell this to start a stream of 1 DAI to the DApp. And since I already have all the callbacks, I can have all the like functionalities, right? Like whenever the stream stops here, just cut the stream here and things like that. So that would be completely decentralized, and that would live maybe on the same, if it's on the same chain, it would be completely decentralized. But if I want to do a stream conversion cross chain, then again there is the web2 dependency. But yeah, it's not necessary, right, that I start a stream of the same tokens. I can do a real-time stream conversion kind of thing also going on.
Tell me one thing that I'm thinking of right now. So this backend component for coordination that you are putting here, it's pretty much like a router that will send a message about the streams that you want to handle from chain 1 to chain 2, right?
Yeah.
So if there was an opportunity for you to just send a message from chain 1 to chain 2 saying, hey, enable this stream, that would eliminate the need of this backend component, correct?
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
So like some way for contract on this chain to be able to invoke a function on this chain. Like I'm not sure if that is possible. It may be possible using optimism. Like I haven't really researched it properly yet, because like actually I was talking to Anudit, like he's another mentor at like EIF.
Yeah.
He suggested optimism to me, and like I started going through the documentation, and then I realized that okay, I need to study a little more. So yeah, like I have only a very rudimentary understanding of how optimism right now works, and like things like token bridge, and
Yeah.
then
But optimism isn't like fully live yet, right?
is it not? Like I'm not sure.
I don't know.
There's also
No,
feature
I
right
don't
now.
think it's fully live yet,
Yeah.
and I think there was even going to be a delay, but I'm not completely sure of the
Yeah,
stats.
that's what I heard.
Yeah, but anyway, one other cool thing, I've been researching a few different protocols lately. So, and I'm not saying those are the solutions, but those are good resources for you to read and maybe find some ideas. Gelato is one of them. I don't know if you've seen it or not. Yeah, Gelato, and of course EPNS. It's always an alternative. I guess what you're looking for is a combination of protocols, maybe that will serve you, replacing that dependency on a Web2 component. But yeah, take a look at those. It's about learning what others are doing, and maybe you will find your own solution, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If EPNS can help, that'll be great, because
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
That gives me ideas to go and discuss back with the team.
Yeah, for sure.
I actually never like I know what EPNS does, but I've never like properly looked into the documentation. So yeah, maybe I should also look into it.
Yep. Well, I can tell you, it's no secret that for every protocol going to L2 and cross chain, it's a must, right? So every protocol is working on that. So that's why I'm suggesting you alternatives to go look for, because while they might not be there to solve your problem right now, they might be on their way there, right? But this is an awesome idea. I really like it. It's pretty clever and very interesting. The part that you mentioned about the incentives, that's really cool. Good game theory right there.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, that's it from me.
Thanks, Ankur. Ankur, you're working on this alone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. One other thing, if at some point you just need brainstorming and stuff like that, feel free to join our Discord or talk to us directly, because we're always there, and I think that's a cool thing about the community. They are always willing to help and build together.
Web3 is like next level in terms of community. Like you like I was astonished when I can just like talk to the founder of a project and like discuss like what's happening, and like that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
I've never like experienced in Web2. Like it's equivalent to like reaching out to the React like CT or something like right. Like really
Yeah, it's a whole different thing. Yeah, you're right. I'm with you on that. You're right. Good stuff. Ankur.
Yeah. So I think Saurabh, are you able to present now?
Yes, I think we can present. Dhruvik is here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Dhruvik, are you there?
Yeah. So you're able to see my screen?
Yes, it's visible, Dhruvik.
Yeah. Yeah, so the idea is to build a platform for decentralized portfolio. So what is a portfolio? Like in portfolio, like investor can investor can invest their tokens and they can generate some kind of profit. So now, so we intended to make a decentralized portfolio for cryptocurrencies, and anyone can join the portfolio, and by investing some tokens, they will get the investment tokens in return. So that will be like collateralized tokens. So this portfolio will not have any centralized authority, no portfolio manager will be there. Like all the decisions regarding portfolio governance will be taken by the only investors. Uh, like uh, what will happen like in portfolio, basically there are two type of decisions, buying or selling tokens. So to make these kind of decisions, anyone can propose a different kind of strategy, and everyone else investor in the portfolio, they can vote on the strategy. So like what will happen, for example, if the portfolio has like 5,000 investors, so like anyone can propose right now we should buy Ethereum. Like they have proposed the strategy in programmatical way. So all other investors, like they can like agree on this decision, either disagree with this decision. So like how and if the percentage of agreement is agree is more, then we can go with the strategy, uh, which is decided by all the investors, like majority of investors. So like some of the advantages is it minimizes the effect of portfolio managers personal emotions, like uh, like the decision is making by many investors. So like they all can review the current market positions, and like they can review different kind of strategies, and then they will decide like whether I should agree with the current proposed strategy or I should not. And after that they will vote. So decentralized decision represents market sentiments better than a centralized decision. Like I said, like 5,000 people are deciding on some decisions. It shows that it has better market sentiments value than a centralized decision. And investors can contribute in the decision making, like I said, all the investor can participate in decision making. And here one investor is not equal to one vote. Like the vote will be equal to the how much tokens or how much assets they have. Based on that, we will decide whether we should execute the current strategy or not. So those are the advantages. And what we will use, like we will use Uniswap to execute the trade, and the React for the web application, and Compound protocol. So one more thing we are thinking here, if the assets are locked in a smart contract, so at that time we can leverage on that locked value, and we can put those tokens in a Compound protocol, and we can generate some kind of interest on the locked value. So that was our idea.
All right, perfect. Uh, this is another cool project. Tell me one thing. So I really liked the idea that you were presenting about managing emotions, because at the end you're going to come with a centralized strategy, right? That's good. So just to make sure that I understand, you're saying the organization or the group of people will come to a decision, and they will say, this is what we're going to invest in. And depending on their investment, depending on their share on the investment, that's the share that they are going to get from the earnings based on the tokens that they got by using this protocol, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, and like this would also represent the government's token. They would the share of the tokens that they will get would be in proportion to their investment, and those tokens can serve as governance token also for consensus for any consensus decisions in the future.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Tell me one thing. What's your expectations about the usage of this governance token? Because right now, I am thinking you cannot come with a big, huge portfolio where blockfolio where everybody will participate, but maybe you will end up having like multiple different blockfolios for you to organize with your friends or whoever, right? But what's the idea of the governance tokens? These blockfolio tokens.
So the governance token can serve as a mechanism for like future investments also, like if there is as was pointed out by Dhruv, that in case there's an investment strategy, so based on the share of those government tokens, consensus would be reached, like the investors would have a weight of their opinion based on those governance tokens.
Okay, and these governance tokens are we saying, or actually maybe that's a question where I need clarity. I really like what you said about putting tokens to earn interest on one of the interest-bearing platforms. Which tokens are you talking about there? Just to make sure I'm clear.
Yeah, those tokens are the invested currencies. Like, let's say some portfolio is made up of Ethereum and DAI token.
Uh-huh.
So, like those values will be locked in a smart contract. So, like we can leverage those tokens and we can put them in a compound to earn some interest. So it's like a side earning. It's not the aim of our project, but
No, but it's definitely that's your incentives for the community. That's one additional incentives that you are going to put for your users, right?
yes.
If you are generating additional interest, then that's a no-brainer for a lot of people. I guess what I was interested in understanding is so when a group of people say, okay, this is going to be our investment strategy, we're going to buy ETH, right? So what I'm not clear about, and this is me trying to understand what happens next. Is the next step? Okay, let's invest. Let's everybody put one ether, or whoever wants to put however they want. But once they say, okay, we're going to be open to put on our investments up until 1 week, and after that week, the idea with this protocol is that we're going to execute the strategy that was previously defined, and that's the part where I'm not clear. How are we going to generate tokens or generate something that will actually go and generate additional interest?
Yeah. So let me just give a simple example, so it will make sure
Yeah,
like
maybe an
it
example
will,
is better. Thank you.
yeah. So basically, let's say someone have created a portfolio. Let's say the portfolio initially is very simple, like 100% Ethereum they will buy. Okay. So let's say some user comes up and he invested in our portfolio. So he has to submit one Ethereum. And let's say in the exchange of that, we will give him one governance token. Right? So now our smart contract has locked one Ethereum, and the uh, the the value locked is one Ethereum. So the so like that one Ethereum we can put in a this compound protocol to generate some kind of interest. At the same time, the user has a governance token. So we can say that that particular user has invested in our portfolio, right? So if now let's say 5,000 people are there, all of them have invested one Ethereum, right? So like let's say 5,000 Ethereum we have, and all of those tokens are in a compound right now, the current situation. Let's say now someone in the community, like they have raised like I want raise the strategy like currently it's the best time to sell Ethereum and buy some kind of stable coin, like say a DAI they want to buy. So at that time they will propose this strategy, and this 5,000 people will vote on that, and based on that, let's say if the majority people have agreed with the strategy. So the automatically all the tokens which are invested in compound will be withdrawn and will withdraw, and it will be it will be locked in smart contract again, and it will go to Uniswap and swap between Ethereum and the DAI tokens. Like whatever, like 50%. If someone has put 50% for swapping, so 50% Ethereum will be swapped from Ethereum to DAI, and it will come back to a contract. So what will happen? The governance token will not change. Like whoever has the governance token, they will have the value in the contract will be changed. Yeah. I hope I have like cleared the doubt.
I think you're on mute, Jeff. We are not able to hear you.
Sorry about that. My bad. Yeah, no, thank you for the example. It was really cool. It really clarified everything for me. What I was saying is that one thing that you can read in the white paper, in our white paper, in EPNS white paper, that I would suggest you to go and take a look at it just in case it serves. But when you are putting together this pool of assets that you will have in your blockfolio, it would be really cool because that's part of the game theory. And I think we wanted to talk a little bit about game theory during this session. That's part of the game theory, right? If you create additional incentives for the players, that's a win-win solution right there. If whenever this first person that you were mentioning, this first person goes and that person puts 1 ether on the pool, it's cool if you start implementing like a fair share ratio where the second person will come in, but the early people that join the pool will start earning more shares, let's say, and when more people come, then you start splitting the shares accordingly to the number of participants in the pool, right? But that is one other alternative that could motivate people to join a pool faster, right? Because the incentives are faster for the early adopters. The incentives are better for the early adopters. That's something that you can check. It's documented in our white paper. So you might want to take a look at that, how our fair share ratio implementation is. But all in all, this is an awesome solution. Again, it's a really clever thing.
Thanks, Jeff. That's a brilliant idea. We'll definitely look into it and try to incorporate it into our solution.
Yeah, but yeah, this is awesome. I really like the idea.
Thanks.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thanks.
Is anyone else questions?
Thanks, Saurabh. Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
Bye. Thanks.
Looking forward to it. So, who wants to present next? Is there anyone?
I would like to present.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you building this alone?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. So first of all, I only have for my idea, there is a forward flow and there is a backward flow. So what I'm trying to build is a B2C marketplace for small tier businesses. So okay, so let me explain. So we all know our businesses that are around us, for example, our favorite hotel or our favorite what are grocery store, the businesses that are doing really good, but they still have a lot of potential. The businesses that we trust in, we can trust, that we see daily. Okay, so and there is no such marketplace for interacting with such business places. So just a second, let me share my screen. Just a second. Okay, so before going in, there will be this dashboard where businesses will enlist themselves, and there will be two major roles, basically as a business and as a user. So if you want to businesses will put up a proposals that they are looking for like so and so, like suppose like $1,000 investment. Okay, so they will put up a proposal. The proposal will show up. Now, like for the businesses, the incentive here is like for small businesses, if they want to expand, they have to go through a lot of process, like taking a loan from a bank, and basically for a loan they have to provide some kind of collateral, and it's a huge process, like it's a long process, like for a small expansion. Okay, so for a better user experience. Okay, so if suppose I want to invest in, like if the business is looking for let's say $1,000 investment, $1,000 loan, so what it will do is like it will put up an proposal, and the dashboard will show that proposal. So all the users that are interested in like in that business, what they will do is like they would want to invest in it, right? So but for the users, I don't want to make this like a crowdfunding platform, because we have enough of those. So what it will be like, that they are investing, they are not just providing funds. So like the users, let's say whatever ETH that they are providing, that all the ETH that will be that they will be giving to the smart contract, that all the ETH will be invested in Aave's lending pool, and businesses will be able to borrow from Aave's lending pool. So at the same time, all the users will have a constant interest accumulating for themselves, and whenever the businesses pay, they will basically get their money back. Okay, so like the forward flow is like this. So user deposits ETH into the smart contract. They want to invest in a business, then smart contract deposits that into Aave lending pool. So let's say if the user, like the smart contract wants 1 lakh rupees. Okay, so rupees is an Indian currency, right? So I will be using Chainless Oracle to convert that into, let's say, DAI. Okay, so, and that DAI will be borrowed by Aave from Aave's lending pool. Okay, Aave's borrowing pool. So smart contract will transfer that DAI to business's account, and businesses can use a crypto fiat gateway to get that transfer into his bank account. So this is the forward flow. Now like here, like for a like I know, like the dependency is on the business, like businesses are not losing anything, they're just getting funds, and let's say if they don't pay, then the investors will lose their money. So for that, I came up with like 2 solutions. Like I came up with actually 3-4 solutions, but they are not full-fledged. So like one of them is like I can ensure the lending pool for each business. So if the businesses doesn't pay, the insurance protocol will pay all the users. Second thing is asset tokenizing the property of the business. So basically the business will be tokenizing their property, and it will be like a 2 months contract. Like I said, it's a small loan, it's not a huge loan. So it can be like a 2 months contract where a business will have to put their property as a collateral. And third is like it involves around the like making a universal token for a platform, and like for that universal token, let's say suppose I want to withdraw my money back, so I will just burn that universal token, and businesses will have to pay whatever amount the user has invested. So like the forward flow is clear to me, it's just the backward flow that is a bit messy.
Like, have you looked into credit delegation and everything from Aave?
Yeah, actually for the this part, like for the credit delegation, I will be using either credit delegation, or like the smart contract will be calculating how much, like a smart contract will be giving that. But credit delegation is the kind of the same thing, we have to depend on the borrower to pay the loan off. So like kind of that is the problem here. We are depending on the business. So like business, like there should be some kind of penalty for business, if or some kind of small collateral or an immediate basis collateral for a business, so that they have to pay it back. So like that part I'm facing issue.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if I understand the incentives and all here properly. But
Incentives for
Jaff, any thoughts on this?
No, I actually also need more clarification, because I understand a business will put, let's say, Ether into a smart contract, as it says here. It will go and start generating interest.
Hmm.
And this is where it starts getting a little, where I'm
Actually,
not clear about.
it's the business does not deposit ETH. Somebody else
Oh,
deposits ETH.
yes. Sorry about that. Users will start putting Ether. You compared it like a crowdfunding platform, but you
like
said
there will
that's
be
not the idea.
a pool for different businesses kind of thing.
Yes. Yes.
So like the incentive, like huge incentive for the users here is that, let's say I invest $1, okay, but if there are 1,000 users, then if each user invest $1, then I will be investing $1,000 into Avi's lending pool. So the interest that I will be accumulating on $1,000 will be much greater. So the money that user is getting back, like the interest that user is getting back, is on the $1,000. Like 1,000 divided $1,000, जो भी like whatever the interest that has been occurred, divided by 1,000. So and compared to $1 interest rate in Aave, it is exponential.
How is that? How is the amount changing the interest rate?
Yeah, so like, okay, so let's say Denver, you deposit $1 into Avi's lending pool. So whatever interest that you will be getting, it will be on $1. Okay, but here this is a pool of money that I will be investing
If
in
the
Avi.
if the rate is 10%, so like the pool also gets 10%. If you divide that, won't that be 10% of
But
$1?
10% on the amount, right? 10% on the amount. Like you will be getting 10% on $1. But when you are investing, like if the smart contract will be investing the whole pool in Aave, so the amount, it will be like 10% interest will be on $1,000. So
So
it
that
is
is getting
exponential.
divided eventually, right?
But the conversion is exponential. Like division is by 1,000, but $1 per 10% and $1,000 per 10%. The conversion here is exponential. So like $1 per 10% is कितना हुआ? Like 10. Hello.
0.1. $1 10% is 0.1.
0.1 or
And $1,000 per 10% is 100.
so like
And 100 divided by 1,000 is again 0.1.
Let's exactly.
No, but that I think we're getting to a good point here, because maybe the incentive shouldn't be based on whatever interest is gained from Aave, right? Because as Denver is saying, the interest will be the same if you put $1 or $1,000. But maybe the incentives should be planned around the repayment of the business, right? Whatever extra something that the business have to pay because of that loan, then maybe that's where the incentives should come from to the people who provided liquidity.
Yes, but like the problem here, it is like only the like asset tokenization wala part. Like I am unable to figure out like how can you convert a real world asset as a collateral, because businesses can't put money like some like whatever, like let's say if they're borrowing $1,000, then if I put a condition that you have to like over collateralize it, then it defeats the whole purpose.
No, I'm saying if a business gets a loan for $1,000, that business is not supposed to pay $1,000 when they cancel. They are supposed to pay a little bit more, right? And maybe that extra something that they have to pay is where the incentives to the liquidity providers should come from. You see what I'm saying? If a business requests, yeah,
yes.
yeah, because getting into tokenization of assets, it's madness. It's really a tough job, right? I'm not saying it's not good. It's really good, but it's
Yeah,
tough.
I actually looked into Realty, which is a real world asset tokenization platform, but they don't have any documentation such as like you can basically just like you can tokenize like with the help of that documentation you can tokenize an asset and they will make sure that the asset token that is being generated for the property is legit. Are you saying what I'm getting?
Yeah, yeah. And no, what I'm saying is it's a tough road to go into asset tokenization just because it involves interfacing with the real world in the most concrete fashion there is, right? That's why it gets really complex there. But the idea, I think if I was to suggest something that you should start looking a little bit more into is the incentives for the liquidity providers, right? For businesses, it's pretty clear they will get access to funds in a faster fashion and and as you said, this is focused on small businesses. But I am at this moment the incentives. What is incentivizing me to go and provide liquidity to your platform rather than going directly to Aave, right? That's where the extra something needs to be added.
Okay.
Right? Because I can just go and put my money on Aave and get the same interest, and
Like
that's
like I can basically make also like basically whatever you are investing in. So as I said, you know the business, so and you interact with the business every day. So like or the like a daily life. So daily. So what I can do is like however like how like let's say if you invest whatever amount you will be getting credit for that amount and you can use that credit in that business by visiting there, something like
that. Yeah, thinking on additional incentives. Also, thinking about governance tokens is always a good idea just because it gives you that extra something. If people understand, if people that is not participating in your protocol, they understand that there is value by just being a participant of the protocol, they will want to be part of it and they will start generating revenue and value for your protocol, right?
Okay.
So that's always good. So an extra something that has value.
So like how will a governance protocol work here? Like I mean a kind of like basically the businesses just only needs funds, like
yeah, but what if for example, if there is a proposal because there's a business that is not so small business and they require more funds, then what if there is a proposal and you can gather a bunch of people saying, no, let's not put $1, let's put 10 each so that we can give them a launch for $10,000, right?
and
when you start mixing governance into the whole thing, you start getting more creative people putting their ideas to expand and scale your protocol. So
okay,
that's always good.
So let's say I mean if let's say if a business enlists themselves and users make proposals that they want such and such feature at the, let's say, local restaurant, and they will provide the liquidity, and like the business will just have to like businesses will have to make that whatever the proposal say.
Yeah. Well, I was
There.
thinking it on the other way. A business that knows about the platform and they know what they can get from the platform, but they need more money. So the proposal can come from that community. Do we want to get into business with that bigger company? Yeah.
Okay. 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 I will look into it, like the governance.
Yeah, Pranav. So I think there are a lot of like um, here would have been better if you had kind of put in a few slides to explain your idea
Yeah,
also.
I know, but like the backward flow was like not clear now. That's why, and it was like so sorry.
But it's a very interesting idea that can be expanded into many different areas, right? And I like the fact that you were thinking about asset tokenization. It's just difficult at this moment, but it doesn't mean that it's not probably the best solution. Who knows, right? But getting there, it's a tough road, but it's a great idea. It's something that can be expanded into so many different things and generate revenue and revenue generate incentives from many different angles, right? So it requires more messaging for sure, but it's a really cool idea as well, because it's about bringing the small businesses into this world. So that's always good. It has a social value as well, and that counts.
Yeah, for the gateway, the crypto fiat gateway, maybe you can talk to Transact.
Yeah, actually no, I mean, the documentation for that is really simple, so I I know this part. I was just okay, I will look into the what more incentives I can provide the users, and also some kind of collateral. Yeah, that's a stuck part. So Jeff, is insurance here, can I use insurance protocol here, the pool that pool for each business? I will basically use I haven't looked that much into insurance protocol, but basically I will insure that with the insurance protocol. Like, does it make sense?
It makes a lot of sense, but it requires some research, because it could increase a little bit the cost of the protocol, right?
Yes.
For insurance, you have to pay, so that's something that there's a lot of moving variables here that you have to put into the equation and see what makes sense. Maybe you don't want to insure very low amounts, but you want to start insuring after some amount.
Yes.
But that's something that will have to be researched, right? And that even that can be part of a governance decision. That's why I'm being a little insistent on the governance part, because those are typically things that governance will decide.
Okay. Yes.
But it's a great idea, because when you're talking about loans, when you're talking about people putting their funds to support another people's dream, it's better to it's never too much to put more insurance on it.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Very cool idea. Yeah.
So that's great. Um and yeah, like Pranav, I think you'd find it useful if you put this, the more things that you put into writing, it clears up your mind also, so
Yeah, I got
maybe
it.
do that, because in the beginning you were talking about a lot of things, a
Yeah, I
marketplace or
know.
something like that, which in the end it's not, you need to explain things better, and when you write things down it makes more sense. Like, this is an investment type of opportunity for regular people to buy into small businesses and get them access to
Sorry, did
capital.
I say marketplace? I'm sorry.
Yeah, so
I meant it. Sorry, I should have said exchange.
yeah. So anyway, that is always helpful to write things down. More you write, more it becomes clearer into your own mind, right?
Yeah.
So that is good. So we were like, Jeff, is Harsh expected shortly? Like,
I don't think he will be able to join us, but I'm ready. I think what we wanted to do now is just to give you a little brief of what's EPNS, talk a little bit about our game theory, and just watch a quick example, right?
sure. So
Yeah,
do you mind if I just maybe set up a different uh, YouTube for link for this? Makes
not
it
at all, not at all.
makes it a bit simpler for me. Not too sure. I'll stop this live stream.
And by the way, just a piece of advice for everybody, because I've been working a lot of on pitching our ideas and pitching our ideas to different people with different backgrounds, right? So always having a set of examples is a good idea. And I'm not talking about one example, but you got to know your audience. And sometimes you will talk to people that is very technical. Sometimes you will talk to people that is very business oriented, right? So always think about that. Keep at least 2 examples, one for the very techie people, one for the non so techie but more business oriented, right? So whenever you explain your idea, you should end up with a really clear, concise example. Yeah, just a piece of advice there, because it really works.
That's actually brilliant advice, because yeah, because mostly there's this whole thing about uh, elevator pitches, right? And
Yeah.
if you know about, it's like a very simple thing, like if you know anything. So what it means is just elevator pitches. Like imagine uh, you are looking for investment or something, and you just catch a investor, and he or she, they're going up an elevator. So you just have those 2 minutes while the elevator is going to shoot your shot. So whatever you have to say, you have to say it in those 2 minutes. So in that time, if you are able to just say what is the unique part of what you are building, so that is the thing you should focus on most. And that too in general, right? When you're build initially, when you're building anything, any platform, any project, or anything, like it's always better to focus on one key feature which you do, rather than 10 features which are not so great. So because people will most likely come for that one feature. That is what we have seen time and again.
Yeah, and another thing is prepare like a sales pitch, right? Prepare it in a presentation, and be ready to discard it and make adjustments. In case of EPNS, one quick story that I have is we started with one pitch deck presentation that we had. We ended up with 13 versions, right? The 13th version is the one that we ended up like polishing really well, right? So that gives you an idea. There were people that were brutally honest. They will not wait 1 minute to tell you, this is not good, right? There's people that it's more constructive. Let's say they are all constructive. They are all constructive advice. But be ready. One presentation, your first presentation will never be the best. But once you start iterating through your presentation and through your idea, then you will start getting there slowly, baby steps.